The house was small. Not cozy small or minimalist small. No, this one was honestly small. The kind where if you stretch your hand too far, you might accidentally greet your neighbor through the window. But inside that house was joy. Pure, loud, unfiltered joy. And at the center of it stood Chisum, fresh graduate, first-class holder, and full-time drama distributor. She burst into the living room like she had just been elected president. "Mama," she announced, dropping her bag dramatically, "your daughter is now officially a graduate with a first class." Her mother looked up from peeling a tiny onion that looked like it was also struggling financially. Come here," her mother exclaimed, pulling her into a tight hug. "My daughter, the only girl that reads book like she's chasing something." Chisum pulled back, flipping her imaginary hair. "Mama, I was not chasing something, I was chasing destiny, and now destiny is afraid of me." Her mother laughed. "This girl, your mouth will not kill you." Chisum gasped. "Kill me? Mama, my mouth is my only investment." She dropped onto the old couch, which made a sound like it had seen too much of life. "Mama," she began, suddenly serious for exactly 3 seconds. "When I become rich?" Her mother raised a brow. "When?" Chisum sat up straighter. "Yes, when. Let's not insult my future with if." Her mother chuckled. "Okay, Madam Billionaire, continue." Chisum stood up and began pacing like a motivational speaker who hadn't been paid yet. "When I become rich, Mama, this house will retire." "Retire?" her mother repeated. "Yes, it has suffered enough. We will build a new house, with AC that actually blows air, not hope." Her mother burst out laughing. "And you," Chisum continued, pointing at her dramatically, "you will not enter kitchen again." Her mother gasped. "Ha, so who will cook?" Chisum placed her hand on her chest proudly. "We will employ a chef, a professional one. Not this manage your ingredients and pray system we are using now." Her mother wiped tears of laughter. "And what will I be doing in the house?" Chisum leaned closer, whispering like it was top secret. "You will just wake up, stretch, and say, what should I eat today?' Then the chef will panic." They both laughed so hard the couch shook in agreement. Then suddenly, Chisum froze. Her stomach made a sound, a loud one, a very disrespectful one. She slowly looked down. "Mama." "Yes?" "I think my stomach just filed a complaint." Her mother sighed. "Mine has already submitted resignation letter." They both looked at each other. Silence. Then, "Food?" Chisum asked. "Food," her mother confirmed. Chisum marched into the kitchen with confidence. "Don't worry, Mama. Your daughter will produce something spectacular." She opened the pot. Empty. She checked another one. Still empty. She opened the small cupboard, then paused, then blinked, then checked again. No salt. She moved to another corner. No palm oil. She checked again, like maybe the items were playing hide and seek. No Maggie. She slowly turned around. "Mama, are we cooking or fasting?" Her mother laughed tiredly. "Check well now." Chisum opened one last container. "Gary." She stared at it. But Gary stared back. "Ah," she said slowly, "the only loyal citizen in this kitchen." She picked it up and nodded. "No problem. We move." Then she paused. "Wait. Where is sugar?" Silence. She turned slowly. "Mama, where is sugar?" "N." Chisum gasped. "Mama, even Gary is now going to suffer?" 5 minutes later, Chisum stood in front of a small provision shop. She cleared her throat and walked in with confidence that did not match her financial situation. "Auntie, good afternoon." The shop owner looked up. "Chisum, what do you want today?" Chisum smiled sweetly. "I want to activate our relationship." The woman frowned. "What relationship?" "Our credit relationship." The woman laughed. "You again?" Chisum placed her hand on her chest dramatically. "Auntie, hunger is not a joke. It is now affecting my destiny." The woman shook her head, smiling. "How much sugar?" "Just small one," Chisum said, using her fingers to demonstrate poverty. The woman handed it to her. "Don't disappear, oh," Chisum gasped. "Auntie, me disappear? I am too fine to disappear." Back home, Chisum poured the gari into 2 cups like she was performing a sacred ritual. She added water, then sugar, then stirred it like it was 5-star cuisine. She carried the cups into the living room with pride. "Mama," presenting, "Gari a la poverty." Her mother laughed loudly. They sat down together, took a sip, paused, then nodded. This is actually good, her mother admitted. Chisam smiled. Of course, it was prepared by a future billionaire. They both laughed again. For a moment, the world outside didn't matter. No money, no pressure, just love. After a while, Chisam grew quiet. She looked at her mother, really looked at her, at the tired eyes, the strong smile, the sacrifices, and something inside her settled. She reached out and held her mother's hand. Mama, yes, my daughter? Her voice softened. I mean it, this won't be our life forever. Her mother smiled gently. I know. Chisam shook her head. No, I don't just want you to know. I want you to see it. She squeezed her hand. I will make you proud. I will change everything. Her mother looked at her with so much love it almost hurt. My daughter, you already have. Chisam smiled. But deep inside, she made a promise, not just to her mother, but to herself. Tomorrow, she would step out, into the world, into uncertainty, into destiny. Morning arrived like it had somewhere important to be. Sunlight forced its way through the thin curtains, landing directly on Chisam's face like a personal alarm clock. She groaned and turned. The sunlight followed. She turned again. It followed again. She finally sat up. Even sun is now doing monitoring spirit in this house? From the other room, her mother's voice came. If you don't wake up, destiny will pass you. Chisam jumped out of bed. Destiny should not even try it. I will chase it. Her room was small, but today it felt like a dressing room for greatness. She opened her tiny wardrobe. 3 outfits stared back at her. She folded her arms. So, which one of you wants to enter Billionaire office today? Silence. She pointed at one. You? No, you look like I tried. She picked another. You? You look like please pity me. Not good. Finally, she brought out her best outfit, a simple but neat blouse and skirt. She nodded. Yes, you look like I may be broke, but I have sense. Perfect. She dressed up carefully, adjusting every detail like her future depended on it. Because it did. She stood in front of the mirror, turned left, turned right, then struck a pose. Good morning, successful woman. She paused. No, too small. She straightened. Good morning, Madam Director Chisam. She smiled. Yes, that one has authority. She stepped into the living room, holding her file of documents like it contained national secrets. Her mother looked up and froze. See my daughter. Chisam spun slowly. Mama, be honest, do I look like someone they will employ or someone they will escort out? Her mother laughed. They will employ you before you even sit down. Chisam gasped. Mama, don't lie to me emotionally. Her mother walked up to her and adjusted her collar. You will do well. Chisam suddenly became dramatic. If they reject me, just know it was not me, it was village people. Her mother tapped her head lightly. Go and come back with good news. Chisam nodded, then paused at the door. She turned back dramatically. Mama, when I come back. Her mother raised a brow. Start preparing yourself. Life is about to upgrade. Her mother laughed. Go first and come back before you upgrade anything. Chisam stepped into the city like a soldier going to battle, but instead of weapons, she carried certificates and confidence that had no backup plan. Cars moved fast. People rushed. The city was alive. Meanwhile, Chisam, she was observing everything like she'd just arrived from a village documentary. She stopped at a roadside and watched a woman shouting into her phone. She shook her head. No problem. I too have come to stress the city back. She continued walking. Then suddenly, she saw it. A massive glass skyscraper stood before her. Tall, shiny, intimidating. Expensive enough to make her account balance feel like an insult. Chisam stopped, tilted her head. Jesus. She walked closer slowly. This building is not building. This is personality. She circled slightly, looking up. If I shout from here, my voice will come back with echo and salary. She placed her hand on her chest. Focus, Chisam. This is where your destiny is hiding. Then she squinted at the entrance, or where security will embarrass you. She adjusted her outfit quickly, took a deep breath. Confidence, confidence. You are not here to beg. You are here to collect opportunity. Okay, small begging might be involved. She walked toward the entrance. Immediately, the security guard stopped her. Where are you going? Chisam smiled brightly. Good morning, sir. I'm here to change my life. The man blinked. What? I mean, I came to apply for a job, she corrected quickly. He looked her up and down, then nodded toward the reception. Go inside. Chisam whispered as she passed him. Thank you for not disgracing me. God will remember you. The moment she entered, cold air hit her. She froze. AC. She closed her eyes briefly. This is not air. This is blessing. She opened her eyes and looked around. Marble floors so clean she could see her future, glass walls shining like they had their own salary, employees walking confidently like they paid rent on time. Chisam swallowed. Okay, don't misbehave. She walked carefully, trying not to look like a tourist in her own destiny. But then, she slipped slightly, recovered, and whispered to herself, Act like you belong here. Even if your slippers at home, know the truth. She approached the receptionist, who looked like she was born inside luxury. Good morning, Chisam said politely. Good morning. How can I help you? Chisam placed her file on the table with confidence. I came to apply for a job, and also to secure my future. The receptionist smiled slightly. Please have a seat. You'll be called shortly. Chisam nodded and turned, then whispered to herself. Shortly means how many hours? She sat down, looked around, crossed her legs, uncrossed them, adjusted her skirt, checked her documents for the 10th time. Then leaned closer to another applicant sitting beside her. Have they rejected you before? She whispered. The girl frowned. No. Chisam nodded. Good. Let me learn from your fresh failure when it comes. As she sat there, her confidence danced with nervousness. What if they ask questions I don't know? What if I faint? What if my English suddenly expires? She shook her head quickly. No, you are Chisam. You did not survive Gari without sugar to come and fail interview. She sat up straighter. Yes, this office does not know what is coming. Miss Chisam? Her head snapped up. That's me, she said quickly, almost too quickly. She stood up, smoothed her outfit, and took a deep breath. This is it, she whispered to herself. Go and impress them, or confuse them. Either one works. With that, she followed the staff inside, straight into the moment that would change her life forever. The door closed behind Chisam with a soft click. But to her, it sounded like, Welcome to your destiny, or your embarrassment. She stood still for 1 second, then whispered to herself, Don't worry. Even if it's embarrassment, we will embarrass ourselves with confidence. The office was sleek, quiet, organized, too organized. Even the air felt disciplined. At the center sat the HR manager, a man whose face looked like it had never laughed without permission. He adjusted his glasses slowly and gestured. Sit. Chisam sat. Too quickly. The chair made a small noise. She froze. Sorry, she whispered to the chair. The manager blinked. He picked up her file. Silence. He flipped one page, another page, paused, looked at her, looked back at the paper. Chisam swallowed. Her brain started running commentary. Why is he quiet? Is it good quiet or bad quiet? This quiet is suspicious. Finally he spoke. First class. Chisam sat up immediately. Yes, sir. My brain and I have been working together for years. He ignored that. Impressive. She nodded proudly. Thank you, sir. I even surprised myself. The manager leaned back slightly. Do you have any job experience? And just like that, the air changed. Chisam blinked. Once, twice, then smiled carefully. Sir, this is my first time applying. Silence. The manager nodded slowly. I see. He closed the file. And that sound? It felt like a coffin closing on her dreams. Unfortunately, he said calmly, we require candidates with experience. There was a pause, a long one. Chisam sat still, processing. Then suddenly, she laughed. Not a small laugh, a full laugh. The manager looked up confused. Is something funny? Chisam raised her hand dramatically. Yes, sir. This situation is funny. Very funny. He frowned slightly. She leaned forward. Sir, I have a question. Go ahead. She pointed at her file. You said my results are good. Yes. You said I'm qualified. Yes. She spread her hands. But because I don't have experience, I should go home? Yes. She stood up slowly, placed one hand on her chest. and turned slightly, like she was addressing an invisible audience. Ladies and gentlemen, the manager blinked. What we are witnessing today is called professional confusion. From outside, a staff passing by paused. Chisholm continued. Sir, if nobody employs me, where will I get experience from? From dreams? A muffled laugh came from outside. She pointed toward the door. Should I go outside and start practicing job by myself? Good morning. I am my own employee. More laughter. The manager tried to stay serious. Miss Chisholm. She raised her finger. Wait, sir. I'm not done. This is now a presentation. By now a few staff had gathered near the glass wall, pretending to walk, but clearly listening. Chisholm paced like a lawyer fighting for justice. Sir, let us be reasonable. She tapped the table lightly. If you don't employ me, another company will employ me. The manager crossed his arms. And if they don't? She gasped. Then unemployment will employ me permanently. Laughter erupted outside. Even someone clapped softly. Chisholm pointed dramatically. You see, the people understand me. She leaned closer to the manager, lowering her voice. Sir, I am begging you with confidence. He blinked. What does that mean? It means I am begging, but with small pride. Chisholm took a deep breath, then dropped her file gently on the table. Sir, let me propose something. Go on. Employ me. He raised a brow. She smiled brightly. Simple, straightforward, effective. He shook his head. We cannot. She suddenly clasped her hands dramatically. Sir, please, if you employ me, I will bring value. He remained quiet. I will come early. No reaction. I will go late. Still nothing. I will even greet security with respect every morning. A loud laugh burst from outside. Chisholm pointed again. You see, I am already improving company culture. The manager rubbed his forehead, clearly stressed. Chisholm leaned in one last time. Eyes soft, voice sincere. Sir, just give me a chance. For a brief moment, she was no longer joking. No drama, just a young girl, fighting for her first opportunity. The manager hesitated. But then, he shook his head. I'm sorry, it's company policy. Silence. Chisholm nodded slowly. Okay. She picked up her file, turned to leave, then paused at the door, turned back. Sir? Yes? If experience is the only problem, she smiled mischievously. Please, reduce it small for me. Even the manager almost laughed. As Chisholm stepped out, the small crowd quickly scattered, pretending to be busy. She looked around. All of you were enjoying a free show. A few people coughed. She adjusted her file. Anyway, thank you for laughing. It encouraged my suffering. Just then, the glass doors Everything felt different, quieter, closer. I'm heading home, she said softly. He nodded. All right. She turned to leave, hand on the door. Chisholm. She stopped, turned. Yes, sir? His voice dropped. Come back. She walked back slowly, curious. He stood up, walked toward her. Each step, deliberate, measured, but heavy with something unspoken. When he stopped, they were close, too close. Her heartbeat quickened. What is it, sir? She asked softly. He looked at her, not as his employee, not as his assistant, but as a man, looking at the woman who had taken over his thoughts. I can't focus when you're around. Her breath caught. You disrupt everything, she swallowed. Is that bad? His voice lowered. No. A pause. Dangerous. The best thing that has happened to me in a long time. Her eyes softened. Jeffrey. It was the first time she said his name like that, and it did something to him, something deep. I tried to ignore it, he continued. Tried to stay professional. Tried to act like you're just my assistant. He stepped closer. But you're not. Her heart raced. Then what am I? His voice dropped to almost a whisper. You're the woman I can't stop thinking about. Silence. Heavy. Electric. Her lips parted slightly. I think about you when you're not here, he added. I watch you when you are. And when I saw you with him today, his jaw tightened. I didn't like it. She smiled softly. So, you are jealous. He didn't deny it this time. They stood there, close, breathing the same air, feeling the same tension. Her voice softened. You took long enough. He searched her eyes. Does that mean? She stepped closer, close enough that her voice brushed his lips. It means I've been waiting. That was it. The last thread of control snapped. He pulled her gently, but firmly, closer. And then, he kissed her. Slow, deep, full of everything they had been holding back. All the tension, all the desire, all the unspoken feelings. She responded instantly, her hands gripping his shirt, his hand resting at her waist. Time slowed. The world outside disappeared. It was just them. They pulled back slightly, breathing uneven, eyes locked. Chisholm smiled softly. Sir, is this in my job description? He let out a quiet laugh, forehead resting lightly against hers. No. She tilted her head. Then I'm doing extra work. He smiled, and for the first time, this wasn't about boss and assistant. This was something deeper, something intense, something real. Weeks passed. For Chisholm and Jeffrey, time didn't just move. It deepened. Their love grew in quiet moments, in stolen glances across the office, in late-night calls that started with, "Are you asleep?" and ended with, "Don't hang up yet." One evening, as the sun dipped into gold, Jeffrey walked into Chisholm's office. "Get ready," he said calmly. She looked up, suspicious. "Why do you always say that like I should be afraid?" He smirked slightly. "Because you never know what I'm about to do." She stood, adjusting her outfit. "Where are we going this time? Another place where water is more expensive than my transport fare?" He stepped closer. "My house." She froze. "Your house?" He nodded. "The same one your salary cannot greet," she added quickly. He laughed softly. "You talk too much. And you like it," she shot back. He didn't deny it. When they arrived, Chisholm stepped out of the car and stopped completely. Jesus, the house stood like a masterpiece, modern, elegant, massive, lights glowing softly like it was welcoming her personally. She turned slowly to him. Sorry, Jeffrey, are you sure this is not a hotel?" He smiled. "Come inside." She walked in carefully, like the floor might charge her for stepping on it. "This place is too fine. I will behave." He leaned closer. "You never behave." She whispered back. "Today is a special case." They walked into the living room. Soft music played quietly. Candles, flowers, a table set beautifully. Chisholm stopped. Her eyes widened. "Wait." She turned slowly. "Why is this place looking like proposal center?" Jeffrey didn't answer immediately. Instead, he stepped forward, and then, he went down on one knee. Chisholm gasped loudly. "Jesus is Lord." Her hands flew to her mouth. Wait, this is real? Nobody is pranking me?" He smiled, holding out a ring. "Chisholm," her eyes filled instantly. "You walked into my life when I wasn't looking for anything." Her breathing became uneven. "And you changed everything." Tears rolled down her cheeks. "You made me laugh, you challenged me. You made me feel things I didn't think I needed." His voice softened. "I don't just love you." He held her gaze deeply. "I choose you. Every day." Silence. Heavy, beautiful. "Will you marry me?" Chisholm stared at him, crying, laughing, confused and happy at the same time. Then suddenly, she wiped her tears dramatically. "Wait," he blinked. "Wait?" She raised a finger. "I need to ask one question." He nodded slowly. "Ask," she sniffed. "If I say yes, will I still be your personal assistant, or will I get a promotion?" He burst into laughter. "Promotion." She nodded seriously. "Okay, that's important." Then she smiled. Bright, beautiful, certain. "Yes." His breath left him. Relief, joy, love. He slid the ring onto her finger, stood up, and pulled her into a deep emotional kiss. She laughed softly against his lips. "Ah, billionaire love is sweetu." The wedding, it wasn't just beautiful, it was unforgettable. A perfect blend of elegance and joy. Luxury decorations, soft white and gold theme, flowers everywhere, music, laughter, celebration. Chisholm stood in her wedding dress, stunning, radiant, like every dream she ever had come alive at once. Her mother couldn't stop crying. "My daughter." Chisholm hugged her tightly. "Mama, we made it." Jeffrey stood at the altar, watching her walk toward him, and for the first time in his life, the powerful billionaire felt nervous. This mattered more than anything. When she finally reached him, she whispered, "Don't worry, I will not run away." He smiled. "I know." They said their vows, simple, real, full of love, and when he kissed her, the crowd erupted. Marriage didn't change Chisholm. If anything, it made her worse, in the best way. "Jeffrey, why are you serious? Smile small, you're now a married man." "Chisholm, I'm working, and I am your wife. I am also your supervisor of happiness." He shook his head, smiling. "You are impossible, and you love it." "I do." Months later, in a hospital room filled with nervous excitement, a cry filled the air. Soft, beautiful, alive. Jeffrey stood there, holding the tiniest human he had ever seen. A girl. His voice was soft with wonder. Chisholm, tired but glowing, smiled. "Our baby." He looked at her, then back at the child, and something inside him shifted forever. Love, deeper than anything he had ever known. Chisholm whispered, "She has your eyes." He shook his head. "And your drama." She laughed weakly. "Then this house is in trouble." From Gari without sugar to a home filled with laughter, love, and a beautiful baby girl. From struggle to abundance, from dreams to reality. Chisholm didn't just change her life, she built a legacy. And Jeffrey, he found something money could never buy. A woman who walked into his world, turned everything upside down, and gave him a love story worth everything. And in the end, it wasn't just about success, it wasn't just about love. It was about a girl who refused to give up. If Chisholm had stayed quiet or afraid, she would have walked out of that office unnoticed. Sometimes, you have to speak up, stand out, and take your moment. Love grows where there is respect, support, and genuine connection. What started as a chance encounter became something deep and life-changing. Never underestimate small beginnings. From Gari without sugar to a life of love and abundance, every big story starts somewhere. If you enjoyed this story, please like and subscribe for more of Billionaire's love story.